Okay, so this is my laser and chiller in an uninsulated, unheated garage in January. We have a huge snowstorm outside, 23 degrees. It's gotten down in the teens outside, and I've been afraid that my laser tube is going to crack. Like many people, I tried using an aquarium heater to stick down inside there to heat up the water and cycle it through the laser tube, the heated water to keep it warm. But the two aquarium heaters I bought would not fit inside the little hole inside here. And I didn't really love the idea of sticking something hot inside here that might melt something or ruin it. Even though other people have done it, I know. I was always a little nervous about it. So with the help of my brother-in-law, who's very kind to help me and much smarter than me, I came up with this solution. Water comes out of the chiller from the outlet, goes into this little pump that I bought. So sucks in from the pump there. Then we bought 16 feet of additional silicone tubing, 5 meters, and I attached it to there and run it through this bucket of just normal non-distilled water. So the water in the tube is distilled. The water in the bucket is not distilled. It runs all the way through the bucket while it's getting warm inside the tubing and then comes back out of the bucket. So the water in the tube and the water in the bucket never mix. Goes through this flow indicator, which I took the piece that I cut. I cut the outlet tube here and here. We added this tubing on, and then I just added the flow indicator to the part that goes into the laser. So the 16 feet coming out goes into the flow indicator, goes into the laser, and then the part that comes out of the laser and back into the chiller, I didn't do anything to that tube. That's all just the same. And if you want to know if it's just that water running through 16 feet of the warm bucket. Oh, and I didn't show you, I put the aquarium heater inside the bucket. So if you're wondering, is that enough? That 16 feet inside the bucket, is that enough to warm up the water? I will plug in the chiller so we can get a temperature reading. You can see the pump. The chiller is now pushing the pump, or pushing the water. And the temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. So it's definitely warm. You got to make sure that if you're getting that warm of water, you don't keep your chiller running because it will try and cool it down while that tries to heat it up. I think it's so high because this started with really hot sink water, which has taken a little while to cool down outside. I think that's why it got so hot. But hopefully I'll just turn this aquarium heater down and get the temperature as low as it'll go, and then this will just maintain it. You can hear it kick on trying to cool it off. But that's how we did it. I'm gonna unplug it so I'm not having the chiller do the pumping. I'm just gonna have my little pump right there do the pumping. I keep getting an air bubble in there, which has me concerned that there's a leak somewhere, even though I don't see any water. So we'll keep an eye on it. And it turns out there was a leak. I said I didn't see any water, but I didn't look all up here. All this was all wet. And so when I screwed, these seals were good from the silicone tubing, from the brass to the silicone tubing, but this seal was bad. I didn't tighten it all the way down, and when I kept tightening it, it just leaked more, so I didn't have enough Teflon. So I had to undo the whole thing, Teflon tape it, redo it, and then siphon water back into the pump because it's not a self-priming pump. I did that by disconnecting this and using my mouth and sucking it out and spitting it into the bucket to get water back into the pump. Once water's filled up in the pump, then you turn it on, it'll do the rest of the work. It just needed to be primed. So hopefully that's not leaking anymore.